Walter Rankin's office, where I obtained the status of chief deputy. I left there to come here and run for constable, and have been here, you know, like I say, for the constable's office 24 years, going on 24 years now. When I took office, when I came into office, I ran on the fact that I would put officers back in the neighborhood, patrolling and protecting property and you know, life and limb of our citizens, basically. And for the last 23 years, I've done that. My officers are cross-trained. We do contract deputy positions where we force multiply our officers into the neighborhoods. Most of my officers, when they work an extra job, they're working an extra job in the neighborhood rather than somewhere out on the road. I'd rather have them back in the neighborhood patrolling and being more visible to try to deter crime. My job as far as constable goes, first of all, is a protect and serve. And that's first and foremost with me. I'm a Christian, I'm a peace officer, and I'm sworn to uphold the laws of this country and this state. I would say that I don't believe that the federal government ought to be as involved in our school districts at the local level. I don't think the state ought to be involved in our school district at the local level. I think it needs to come back home, and the school districts themselves should be more in charge of what our kids are learning.
Also, I forgot to point out, we do have a young lady over there who's trying to help us keep on schedule, so if you make sure that her notes are duly noted.
Okay, all right, thank you. I guess, like I say, I am a conservative. I've always had conservative principles, and I feel like that I get more done. When I came here, the commissioners gave me the responsibility of all the mental health officers, because I've been over mental health in Harris County. We do all of the transports for all mental patients in the county, county-wide. It's not just precinct-wide. Okay. And if like I say, it's not a precinct-wide thing. Then working with Sheriff Tommy Gage, when we got together, we decided that it would be better for one agency to control the lake, be over Lake Conroe. My officers have the primary duty for Lake Conroe. In the last 4 years, we've maintained a record of no alcoholic deaths, boating fatalities as a result of alcohol. And at one time, about 4 or 5 years ago, we were touted as the #1 death lake in the state of Texas. And today, I think that we'd probably be touted as being one of the safest lakes in the state of Texas.
Okay. Who has the first question for Constable Chumley? Peter.
In Katrina in 2005, peace officers were disarming law-abiding citizens on their own property. As constable, would you issue such orders or carry them out if you were directed to?
I believe in the right to bear arms by our citizenry, and the only way, well, number one, just for someone bearing arms on his own property or having arms on his own property, no, sir, I would not have given that order, period.
Where did the order come from, Peter?
Probably FEMA.
Probably FEMA.
So would you carry out a FEMA order?
If I had a lawful order to disarm a citizen, then I would have to do that, because I do carry out the laws of the land. But if it was not a lawful order from a court or from a judge, then no.
Well, the question is, do you consider that a lawful order? If FEMA, so you have a law-abiding citizen, they're not under indictment, they're on their own property, they're not charged with any crime. Do you consider it a lawful order?
Not from FEMA, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, who's the next question for Constable Chumley? Mr. Duvall.
Okay. Getting back to the interaction between federal and local in regards to illegal immigrants, what can you do? I know that that's primarily a federal responsibility, but the impact is here.
Well, let me say this. Just Monday of this week, last week, I entered into an agreement with ICE to help share part of my offices, or share part of my offices with them so they could locate here. They're going to take over one of the jails there in Conroe, and having them in my office and sharing a space with them won't do anything but enhance our abilities to be able to interdict these people when we find them in our subdivisions. My officers are all trained, they know what to expect, and when they see something in a subdivision that they know that is out of place, then yes, we will stop them and take them into custody if it warrants that. And then working with ICE like that, we're better able to protect our citizenry by working along with them.
If I could follow up just real briefly, there was a federal program for training local police officers
Yes, sir.
and constables and such
Yes, sir.
to work with ICE. Is that program still operational? Do you have any of your people trained in that?
I have people that have gone through the program, but I do not believe they're still doing that at this time.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. Okay, Mr. Crumby?
So you say here that you support nighttime curfews. What about daytime curfews during school year?
Daytime curfew, in what way, as far as if the kiddo is supposed to be in school, we work with our school district, and as we all know, skipping school and that type of thing is a big problem with some of the school districts. And having an officer to work with the school district and work with those kids to help keep them in school, I think is a better route as far as controlling our youngsters today, rather than having a curfew of some kind during the day. I don't know how that would work. You know, if the kid's not in school and he's not being taught, then yeah, my probation, or not probation officers, but my truant officers go after them and they get them back in school. Some of them end up in some of these places they shouldn't be in the daytime, and we're on the lookout for that. We work real close with our our school districts, our teachers, even on lockdowns and things. You know, my officers are taught, we have a special response team to go into the school districts, and if we had a problem there, and we train at Fort Hood every other year to be able to go in and do that to protect our kiddos and the teachers. And if it comes down, you know, to a lockdown or anything of that sort, my officers, when they come back, not only do we train with Fort Hood, my officers come back then and teach and train our teachers so we can have a lockdown and protect the kids and keep them as safe as possible.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Another question for Constable. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, I just wanted a clarification. Your job on the mental health is just a transporting mental health patients. Are they ones that have committed crimes? Is
No,
that?
ma'am, no, ma'am. Any mental health patient, if there is a mental health patient warrant issued, or if for some reason a neighbor or somebody or a loved one says, you know, they realize that there's a problem, you know, with a patient and they're having a mental problem, they go to a magistrate, they get a warrant. At that point in time, my guys go out and pick them up. We transport them to the hospital first to get the doctors to look at them and to see that there is actually a problem there and these people need treatment of some sort.
Okay.
And if the doctor says so at that point in time, then we carry them on to Tri-County or, you know, and keep them in place. Okay?
Okay. Okay, time for probably one more question. Okay, Mr. Gabal.
Regard to your interaction with, with policing in neighborhoods, do your deputies drive through the neighborhoods at slow speeds with the windows down so they can hear what's going on? Or some areas I know there's contract deputies are supposed to be there and you see a car go by once a week.
My deputies represent me. They're sworn to uphold the law. They represent me and my community, and I know what my citizenry and my community want of me and my deputies. And my officer, the average tenure with my officer, there's about 30 officers, sworn officers in my office. The average tenure of service with those officers is 18 years. And if you have officers with that kind of experience doing their job the way we do them, you're not going to have officers that's going to be running from one area to another, or not being out there and being seen. And yes, to answer your question, yes, my officers, at night, when my citizens are either asleep or they're at work, that slow-moving car through that neighborhood is my officer.
Thank you.
Okay, and we really don't have time for another question, but if you care to give us a summary, if not, we may have a short question, but if you care to give us a summary, sir.
Okay. Well, like I say, I've been at this for 23 years. I love my job. I love my community. And I look forward to serving this community and serving my community for another term. As long as I can contribute to, you know, and be an active role and be an influence. I think experience is a big help in any police agency, and it's a big help as an asset to any community that you're involved in. And I'd just like to say again, it's been an honor to be here and to speak before you folks tonight.
Well, it's been our privilege to have you with us. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Constable.
Thank you. Thank all of you for having